Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound, and today we got another one to talk about here for you on our What's It Worth episodes. Okay, we typically take and pull one coin that still circulates out there in the wild today, and do they have any value whatsoever? And we're going to take a look at every single coin in the 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. Okay, really cool coin. It's a large size coin which harkens back to some of the old Morgan and Peace dollars, stuff that we typically see and watch in old movies and westerns, and it's got that really cool appeal to it. So I'm happy to say that these still exist. Okay, if you went to the bank, about half of the time they'll still keep these. Typically it's from customers that bring them in. Sometimes you'll see them come in and it's change, depending on where you go. I mean, they're a neat enough oddity that even cashiers hold on to these. So you want to make sure you know exactly what you have. And we're going to choose actually the bicentennial year because it's a 1 year type of a specific design. So you're going to flip your coin over, okay? Automatically, you're going to see a design that is unlike all the others in the Eisenhower dollar series. As you can see, the regular design on the left has the eagle landing on the moon, okay, with that olive sprig that he's holding. Okay, and then the bicentennial is going to be the image on the right. Okay, that's the coin we're going to talk about today. You're going to see the Liberty Bell sitting in the foreground of the moon. Okay, that's an iconic design for a 1 year type. They also did the same thing with a quarter and half dollar. And actually, I have those videos up as well. All these coins are extremely neat. They're very desired because they are a 1 year type coin. And people just love the overall large size of this dollar coin, even though it's not silver. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, okay, before we get started, the best way you can support my channel as always is to hit the like button if you enjoy what you see. If you haven't done so, subscribe, because we talk about all sorts of various pocket change finds from pennies to dollars. Okay, and believe it or not, some of these coins have some pretty amazing values. And you just need to know them, so that way you don't spend the next treasure. But this coin right here was made for circulation for both the Philadelphia and the Denver mints. So we're going to focus on the Philadelphia minted coins first. Okay, as you can see here, we have the Philadelphia variant of the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar coin. Believe it or not, there are two different reverses. I'm going to get to that here in a moment. But this coin right here, it's a Philadelphia. Mintage figures, they're kind of lopsided between the Type 1 and Type 2. And the more common Variety 2 or Type 2 coin, which, as you can see here, I have a schematic showing the two types. Okay, the Type 1 will have block letters on the reverse. The Type 2 will have kind of like the skinnier, almost older style of lettering. All right, so these are lettering types that you could see very easily with the naked eye. You don't need a magnifier or anything like that. So the Type 1 really chunky blocky letters, okay, it has a mintage of only 4,019,000. Okay, to you and I, that sounds like quite a few coins, but in comparison to the more common Type 2 reverse with the skinnier lettering, there's 113,308 or 113,318,000. Sorry, I almost butchered that to no end. But as you can see, there is a substantial difference in the mintage figures from the blocky reverse Type 1 and then the skinny lettered Type 2. So clearly that means that there's a difference in the overall value of the coin, correct? Well, not so much. Okay, these coins, they're not as widely collected as some of the other series like the Lincoln Cents and Jefferson Nickels. However, I'm happy to say that these coins circulated, pretty beat up. They still sell between $2 and $5. The Type 1, if you're lucky, you could actually get $5 to $10 for, a beat up example of that coin because it is a little bit tougher variety. Um, the Type 2 coin, again, $2 to $5 in circulation type condition. But if you're lucky enough to find a coin that looks pretty new, which is what they call mint state, I'm happy to say that some of those coins, ungraded, uncertified, the Type 1s can go as high as $150 to $200 if they're in really nice shape. All right. The Type 2 with the skinnier letters on the back, you could probably get about $20 to $30 out in the open market for a BU example of that coin, which, by the way, means brilliant uncirculated. So overall, it's a really neat coin. And by the way, you're going to see, on this particular date right here, the mint mark, if it applies on the Philadelphia examples, there's no mint mark added to that die. So it'd be on the front of the coin where you see Eisenhower right underneath the bust, in between the bust and the date. And as you can see on the Bicentennial 1-year coin, okay, they have the double date to signify the 200-year anniversary of the U.S. Okay, so it's a pretty neat design all the way around. So just to do a quick little recap, the Type 1 block lettered reverse is much more tougher to find, especially in nicer condition. There's a mintage of 4,019,000. The Type 2 skinny letters reverse has a mintage of 113,318,000 pieces. Value-wise, you're going to be looking between $2 and $5 for circulated, worn examples of either type. And then if you find one that's in really nice shape, you're going to be looking at about $150 to $200 for that Type 1 block letter reverse, and then about $20 to $30 for the skinnier reverse example. The values in higher grades, they're pretty contrasting. The Type 1 worth a lot more money. So that's the Philadelphia example. We're going to take a look at the Denver minted examples right here. And the first thing you'll notice is that there is a small tiny letter D, okay, above the date where it says 1976. So that's how you'll know that you have a Denver mint example. So just like the Philadelphia example, there are also the two different reverse types, the block letters, which is still referred to as the Type 1, and the skinnier letters, which is the Type 2 reverse. Okay, the pricing isn't nearly as wild on this one. Again, nice circulated examples. You could the Denver, because it's a lot more readily available out there in the marketplace, sells for about $2 to $3. Okay, it's not nearly as much as the Philly. The mintage figures on the Denver Mint Type 1 with the block letters is 21,048,710. Okay, so quite a bit more than that Philadelphia one. The Type 2 skinny letters reverse is 82,179,564. So, the mintages are a little bit higher, with exception of the Denver Type 2. It's a little bit less, actually, than the Philadelphia. But in BU condition, these coins typically command anywhere from about $20 to $40. Okay, the Type 1 in mint state or BU commands a little bit more money because it's a little bit difficult type for the reverse with that block letters. So again, another neat coin that exists out there. But if you are at all interested in how much these things sell for in the open market graded, okay, and when I mean graded is you can actually submit coins to companies called like PCGS, which is Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, which is short for Numismatic Guarantee Certification. Yep, I got that right. But you can authenticate your coins. It is advisable that you grade and authenticate only the highest grade specimens. They're going to be worth the most amount of money. The most expensive coin on the list is obviously the Philadelphia Type 1 block letters. Coins in grades above 65 are rare, and if you're able to find one, let's say in Mint State 66, they're worth between $1,500 and $2,000. That is the chase coin in super high grades. If you're able to find one in 67, you're going to be talking about a $10,000 coin all day long. So the prospects are huge in this series. High graded other examples, like the Type 2 Philadelphia and the Type 1, Type 2 Denver, still command quite a bit of money, but you're going to have them graded at like the 67 level for them to be worth about $1,000 to $1,500. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is your What's It Worth? The 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. Probably one of the coolest coins still available out there today. Again, if you're interested in looking for some of these, more than likely you're not going to get them in change. Okay, they're just too large and too obscure to show up in just some random cash register. But check out your banks. Okay, I've picked up numerous rolls of these after people had found out that they're not silver and they're only worth what they think to be face value. But I've sold these for double face value for pretty well circulated coins, which that's not a bad deal, guys. And people will pay the money for the circulated grades. And keep an eye out on that Type 1 reverse Philadelphia. It's worth quite a bit of money, and it's very desirable. So I want to thank everyone for joining in. Of course, the best way you can support my channel, hit the like button. Feel free to share and subscribe, and I would love to hear your input on this coin. Pretty neat. And at the end of the video, there will be links to also the bicentennial quarter and the $half values, two other tremendous neat coins. And check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So I want to thank everyone for joining. Hope you found yourself a nice little piece of treasure. And yeah, keep on hunting.